Are we witnessing the end of an era for European security or the dawn of a new, more self-reliant continent? The Pentagon has just delivered a stunning blow to NATO, signaling a significant reduction in U.S. military capabilities available to the alliance during a crisis. This move, spearheaded by the Trump administration, is a clear and forceful push for Europe to shoulder a much larger portion of its own defense burden. Before we dive into the seismic implications of this decision, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in U.S. politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and ensures you don't miss critical updates like this. So what exactly is happening? Officials have confirmed to Fox News Digital that the U.S. plans to reduce certain available capabilities by roughly 1/3 to 1/2. This includes critical assets like strategic bomber planes, fighter jets, and some naval forces. Pentagon official Alexander Villesgreen formally informed European allies of these coming changes at a NATO Defense Policy Directors meeting in Brussels. While the Pentagon itself declined to confirm specific details, Chief Spokesman Sean Parnell acknowledged the shift. He framed it as part of a broader effort to pressure allies to assume greater responsibility for Europe's defense. Parnell stated that these changes represent an opportunity for allies to demonstrate they've heard President Trump's call to step up and take primary responsibility for Europe's conventional defense. He stressed that while increased defense spending is vital and necessary for allies to meet their Hague Summit pledge, it's equally important for them to focus that spending on combat-credible capabilities most required for Europe's defense. The Pentagon's announcement, he suggested, offers precisely that opportunity. This move comes at a particularly sensitive time, just ahead of the NATO leaders' summit in Ankara, Turkey, in July. President Donald Trump is expected to intensify his pressure on allies to shoulder more of Europe's defense burden, as Washington increasingly shifts its military focus toward the Indo-Pacific region. While European officials have largely avoided public criticism, several have expressed deep concern to Fox News Digital about the pace and clarity of these evolving U.S.-Europe posture plans. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has tried to reassure allies, stating that any adjustments would occur over time, in a structured way, and insisting that the U.S. will stay involved in Europe. However, uncertainty abounds. NATO foreign ministers meeting in Helsingborg, Sweden, also grappled with the ambiguity surrounding recent U.S. troop announcements in Europe. Swedish Foreign Minister Maria Malmer Stenergaard described the situation as confusing indeed, while Secretary of State Marco Rubio acknowledged that it is well understood in the alliance that the United States' troop presence in Europe is going to be adjusted. Regional officials are still seeking clarity on crucial details. Will future U.S. troop movements in Poland expand the current American footprint, replace paused rotations, or involve simply repositioning forces from elsewhere in Europe? Defense officials are increasingly framing this broader shift as part of a post-Ukraine war restructuring of NATO. The focus is reportedly on territorial defense, rapid mobilization, and greater European burden sharing, all while the U.S. redirects more military resources toward Asia. For context, the U.S. currently maintains its largest European troop presence in Germany, with roughly 36,000 American troops stationed there, along with approximately 12,000 in Italy, 10,000 in the United Kingdom, and an estimated 10,000 in Poland. The Pentagon did withdraw an armored brigade combat team from Romania in 2025, a temporary deployment tied to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, as part of a broader effort to rebalance the U.S. military footprint in Europe. More recently, the Trump administration announced plans to withdraw roughly 5,000 U.S. troops from Germany over the next year, raising new questions among allies about the future scale of the American military presence on the continent. This is not merely a logistical adjustment. It's a fundamental redefinition of the transatlantic security relationship. By slashing combat commitments, the Pentagon is effectively signaling that Europe can no longer rely on the same level of American military backing in a crisis. This puts immense pressure on European nations to rapidly increase their defense spending and, more importantly, to develop the robust, combat-ready capabilities necessary to defend themselves against potential threats, especially from Russia. The effectiveness of NATO's collective defense will now depend heavily on Europe's ability to fill the void left by reduced U.S. contributions. The implications are far-reaching. For European allies, This means a potential increase in defense budgets, difficult strategic choices about military modernization, and the urgent need for greater military integration and cooperation amongst themselves. For the United States, it signals a pivot towards the Indo-Pacific, a region increasingly viewed as the primary theater for geopolitical competition. However, this shift carries risks. It could embolden adversaries who perceive a weakening of European resolve or create instability if Europe is not adequately prepared. The current uncertainty surrounding troop movements and the clarity of these strategic changes could also sow discord within the alliance, potentially undermining the very unity that has been NATO's strength for decades. So what do you think about this seismic shift in NATO's defense posture? Is Europe ready to step up and take primary responsibility for its own security, or is this a dangerous gamble that weakens the alliance? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. This is a pivotal moment, and your insights are crucial. We will continue to monitor and break down these critical developments.